What if I told you this painting takes zero drawing skills, and you can still create something that looks like a masterpiece? Imagine this. You're standing in front of a blank canvas, and instead of pressure, you feel possibility. Pure, limitless possibility. And right there is where our journey begins. So before we even touch the paint, let me hook you with this thought. What if the most beautiful piece you ever create comes not from control, but from letting go completely? Welcome back to the channel. And today we're diving into one of the most satisfying, mesmerizing, and surprisingly freeing techniques in abstract art: drip and pouring. The classic method that turns motion, gravity, and instinct into something visually stunning. So if you've ever felt intimidated by painting or thought you weren't creative enough, this is exactly where that belief ends. Because this technique isn't about perfection. It's about expression, flow, and trust in the process. And by the end of this video, you won't just understand how to do it. You'll feel confident enough to start your own piece right away. So first, let's set the stage, because environment matters more than people think. Lay your canvas flat on a protected surface, whether that's a plastic sheet, old newspapers, or a dedicated art table. And don't worry about making a mess, because honestly, the mess is part of the magic. It's proof that you're creating something alive and unpredictable. Now as you gather your materials, acrylic paints, pouring medium, cups, sticks, maybe even a palette knife, take a moment to appreciate the simplicity of it all. You don't need expensive tools or years of training, just a willingness to experiment and embrace uncertainty. And that's what makes this technique so powerful. Now let's talk paint consistency, because this is where beginners often struggle. Your paint should be fluid, almost like warm honey or melted ice cream. Not too thick that it clumps and not too thin that it loses vibrancy. And as you mix your colors with the pouring medium, notice how each one begins to take on a personality of its own. Some bold and opaque, others soft and translucent. And this is where your artistic intuition starts to come into play, even if you don't realize it yet. Now here's the key moment, the pour itself. And I want you to slow down and really feel this, because this isn't just about dumping paint onto a canvas. This is about initiating a conversation between you and the artwork. So as you lift your cup and begin to pour, let your wrist move naturally. Don't overthink it. Don't try to control every inch. Just guide the flow and watch how the paint spreads, overlaps, and interacts, forming organic shapes and patterns that no brush could ever replicate. And right here is where the magic happens, because gravity becomes your collaborator. Tilting the canvas gently allows the paint to travel, to stretch, to blend in ways that feel almost alive. And you might feel a moment of hesitation, a desire to stop or fix something, but resist that urge, because the beauty of drip and pouring lies in surrender, in allowing the unexpected to unfold. Now let's elevate this technique with dripping, because pouring lays the foundation, but dripping adds rhythm and energy. So take a stick, a brush, or even your fingers, dip into your paint, and let it fall onto the canvas from above, varying the height and speed to create different effects. Some drips will be bold and striking, others subtle and delicate. And as they land, they create layers of movement that draw the viewer's eye across the piece. And here's a professional tip. Step back frequently, don't stay too close for too long, because abstract art is about the overall composition, the balance of chaos and harmony. And sometimes what feels random up close reveals itself as beautifully intentional from a distance. Now let's talk about color choices, because this can completely transform the mood of your artwork. High contrast combinations create drama and intensity, while analogous colors, those close to each other on the color wheel, offer a more soothing, cohesive feel. And there's no right or wrong here, only what resonates with you. And that's something I want you to remember throughout this process. Your voice as an artist matters, even if you're just starting out, especially if you're just starting out. Now as your painting begins to take shape, you might notice cells forming, those intricate, almost hypnotic patterns where colors separate and interact. And while there are techniques to encourage them, like adding silicone oil, today we're focusing on the classic approach, letting them appear naturally if they choose to. Because again, this is about embracing what happens rather than forcing it. And as your canvas fills with color and movement, there comes a moment where you have to decide it's enough. And that can be one of the hardest parts, knowing when to stop. But here's a simple way to think about it. If every new addition feels like it's enhancing the piece, keep going. But the moment it starts to feel like you're overworking it, that's your cue to step back, to trust that what you've created is already complete. Now, as we wrap up the process, don't rush the drying stage. This type of painting needs time to settle, for the layers to stabilize and the colors to fully reveal themselves. And during this time, resist the urge to touch or adjust anything. Because what's happening beneath the surface is just as important as what you see on top. And once it's dry, take a moment to really look at what you've made. Not with judgment, but with curiosity. Notice the details, the transitions, the unexpected combinations that somehow work together. And understand that this piece is a reflection of a moment in time. Your movement, your decisions, your willingness to let go. And that's what makes abstract drip and pouring art so special. It's not just about the final image. It's about the experience of creating it. The way it challenges you to trust yourself and to find beauty in unpredictability. So if you've made it this far, here's my challenge to you. Don't just watch, create. Take what you've learned today and try it for yourself. Because the only way to truly understand this technique is to feel it, to see how the paint moves under your hands, to discover your own style within the flow. And when you do, come back and share your experience. Because art is meant to be shared, to inspire and connect. And if this video helped you see abstract art in a new way, make sure to like, subscribe, and stick around for more techniques, tips, and creative inspiration. And remember, the next masterpiece you create might not come from control, but from the courage to let go and simply pour.